This isn't fantasy football, it's real competition. Welcome to the NFL Survivor Tournament. You versus the field. $100 to enter, $100,000 in total prizes, $50K to the winner. Start each week with a $100K bankroll. Pick games, win returns. Top 80% survive. Bottom 20%, you're out. Bankroll resets weekly, no carryover. 20 weeks, $100K. Will you take home the cash? Sign up, lock in, and let's see if you've got the guts to survive.
That's Johnson, but
I can give you a real simple solution to Ohio State's offensive issues.
Not having Chip Kelly.
No, I can put it in Niner terms. Your head coach is not a good play caller when he's a head coach. Ryan Day had the sticks. I text you that. I could tell this guy starting the game off. You got the best wide receiver in the freaking country. People are saying, oh man, even at 17, 18, he could go pro if he wanted to. And you're running the ball.
He got the 7-0 lead, and he said, all right, time to drain the clock.
Not only are you running the ball, you're in 4 tight end sets running the ball.
That game had so much hype, so much excitement, and then I just watching it was just like,
I told you it's the Spider-Man meme. 2 guys trying not to lose.
And Steve Sarkisian ended up being the one that lost. We'll dive into
I can't wait.
Arch throughout the show. We've got a headline about him in News or Snooze, and we're going to kick off hour number 2, diving into how Arch Manning falters. Before we get on with that, we want to let you guys know about what our friends over at Bull Rush have going on. They've dropped a brand new sports comp. You want to get in right now ahead of Thursday, because once it's Thursday, it starts going. It's a total prize pool of $100,000 where the first place winner gets $50,000 straight up. Think you've got the picks to survive 20 weeks? Join now, bullrush.com/ESPN, and prove it. Prove that you got the picks to win it and get $50,000 straight up. All right, let's update you with what you may have missed in the wide world of sports.
This is your Fitz The Bill morning update. Getting you caught up on some of the biggest stories in sports.
In college football, Bill Belichick's UNC debut started hot. 7-play, 83-yard touchdown drive to open things up. From there, it was all TCU, winning 48-14 to wrap up week 1. Bill Belichick said after the game, quote, "We're better than what we were tonight, but we have to go out there and show that and prove it." Fun fact, Bill Belichick, the most points he ever allowed in an NFL game was 47. That was over 500-plus career games. He has now allowed 48 in 1 college football game. Florida State and Tommy Castellanos, they walked the walk after talking the talk. Florida State handled business against Alabama, 31-17. Then the Seminole faithful proceeded to storm the field. So FSU becomes the first school to get hit with a $50,000 fine from the ACC after they have announced the new fine system at ACC kickoff earlier this summer. Carson Beck and Miami looked the part of an ACC contender against Notre Dame. Beck went 20 of 31 for 205 and 2 touchdowns as the Canes got a 27-24 win over Notre Dame. CJ Carr, the redshirt freshman starting quarterback for the Fighting Irish, started a little out of sorts, settled in nicely, was able to lead Notre Dame back to tie it, but a late field goal from Miami gave them the 3-point win. In the world of the NFL, the Rams announced that they expect Matthew Stafford to start the season opener against the Texans. This is after Matthew Stafford has been struggling with back injuries all training camp, not allowing him to practice. Micah Parsons, who also has a back injury, back tightness, that was what was reported was keeping him out of practice with the Dallas Cowboys during his, quote, hold-in. But now the reports are saying he may have to get an injection in his back to help with the injury in order to play week 1 and potentially beyond. In San Francisco, they get one receiver back to that depleted room. Jawan Jennings back practicing for the first time in 36 days as he has been dealing with a calf injury throughout training camp. Other sports stories, Venus Williams and Leylah Fernandez, they reached the quarterfinals in the U.S. Open doubles. After the match, Venus called out her sister Serena to come out and watch a match. And in MLB and news and notes, Juan Soto notched a grand slam and a triple to push the Mets to a 10-8 win over the Detroit Tigers Nationals get a 2-0 win at home over the Miami Marlins. The Braves fell 7-6 to the Cubs. Atlanta did make a roster move, claiming Ha-Sung Kim off waivers from the Rays as the Braves try to shore up the middle infield looking ahead to next season. And Phillies won 10-8 over the Brewers, and the Orioles won 4-3 over the San Diego Padres. So that's what you may have missed in the wide world of sports overnight. We'll dive into so much college football throughout the show today. News or Snooze coming up at 8:30, and it is heavy college football. In hour 2, of course, we're going to break down everything that happened with Arch Manning, everything that happened with the state schools, and react to Bill Belichick's horrible debut down in Chapel Hill as they get blown out by TCU. Also coming up in the next segment, we'll be joined by Amani Toomer, the New York Giants wide receiver and Super Bowl champ, joining us to preview a little bit about the NFC East and what he expects out of the New York Giants. And of course, throughout the show, we want to hear from you. Call or text in 804-327-0888. Let us know all of your thoughts from the weekend that was, the long weekend that was. 804-327-0888. All right, let's get this break in here. We'll step aside, be back with Amani Toomer on the other side of the break, the former New York Giants wide receiver and Super Bowl champion, joining us to talk a little things about the NFC East.
Traffic reports on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, brought to you by Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a premier Linux dealer. Online at hermanallenplumbing.com.
Looking for the perfect golf course? Check out RVA's best kept secret, Queenfield Golf Club, just a few minutes past Mechanicsville. Reserve your tee time today at queenfieldgolf.com.
Are you suffering from a sports injury, chronic pain, or something that just plain hurts? Ortho Virginia can help get you on the road to recovery. As the state's largest provider of orthopedic care, Ortho Virginia's team of specialists offers surgical and non-surgical treatment options. With 12 offices conveniently located in the Richmond area, visit orthovirginia.com or call 804-915-1910 to discover why at Ortho Virginia, stronger starts here.
Summertime in RVA means Richmond Kickers soccer games at City Stadium. Family fun, food trucks, and men's soccer action on the field. Tickets online at richmondkickers.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
Thursday Night Football is here. 106.1 ESPN Richmond is kicking it off in style. The NFL talk gets going with Racing Hill from 6 to 7. Then join us live at Dave & Buster's in Short Pump for our brand new NFL pregame show, Countdown to Kickoff. This week, hosted by Jack Fitzpatrick of Fitz The Bill. Jack will get you set for one of the league's fiercest rivalries, the Cowboys and Eagles, under the lights on Thursday Night Football. It's all presented by Dave & Buster's in Short Pump and 106.1 ESPN Richmond. Your home for the NFL all season long and where Richmond talks sports.
106.1 ESPN traffic.
There's been an accident heading east on 64 near 95, causing slow-moving traffic from Dickens Road. Heading west on 64, we're also seeing some touch and go between Mechanicsville Turnpike and 95. The right lane is blocked off heading south on 95 due to a crash at Hermitage Road, causing some heavy traffic from Bryan Park Interchange. And beware of an accident on 6th Street at Hull Street.
Stats optional. Opinions guaranteed. Matt Josephs brings you border to border. 3 to 4 on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, where Richmond talks sports.
Welcome back in. Fitz the Bill on this Tuesday morning. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick alongside Alan as we get the week started, and we are joined now by Amani Toomer, former New York Giants wide receiver, Super Bowl champion, taking some time out of his morning to chat some NFC East, chat some Giants. Amani, thank you so much for joining us on this Tuesday morning. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing great. How about you guys?
I'm doing fantastic, and I want to dive into it right at the top. Just overall expectations for the Giants, led by Russell Wilson. Jackson Dart, we may see him, we may not. What are your expectations for New York this upcoming season?
Well, I think everybody, there's excitement around the area about the team that we haven't had in a couple of years. But I feel like the overall team is a lot better than they were over the last couple of years. But the problem is the schedule is very difficult. So those two things put together, people are optimistic because this team seems to be getting along. They seem to have a good energy about them from the people I've talked to in the building. But the schedule is going to be a beast, and there's no mercy on how well they perform this year because of the difficulty of the schedule.
Yeah, so looking at this team, it seems like there's a lot of optimism specifically around the defensive line, having so many top-tier guys along there, with Abdul Carter getting added to the mix this year, Brian Burns, just everyone on that defensive line seems to be elite. And it kind of reminds me of that Super Bowl 42 run with the defensive line kind of building from there. How important is it to have such a solid and reliable defensive line and having a competitive team?
Well, I mean, last year they had a great defensive line. So I just, they add another pass rusher, but, it's all about them staying healthy. Last year, for the first couple weeks of the season, everybody's talking about the Giants have the best defensive line. Then a couple of people get hurt, and their defensive line ends up being an issue. They're a great pass rushing line. They've made some changes this year to try and stop their run a little bit. But, if you're behind, this is a team that's built to have a lead and be playing with the lead so they can pin their ears back and go after the quarterback. But the problem is, I don't know if this team on offense is going to be good enough to play to the strength of this defense, which is their defensive line.
Amani Toomer joining us on this Tuesday morning. What do you think this offense needs to do to find some sort of rhythm this season? It seems like that is the biggest question, whether it's Russell Wilson leading the team, Jackson Dart, whenever he may get in, may not, depending on how good Russell Wilson is. Like, how does this offense start this season off hot and maintain that through the season?
I think if Russell Wilson plays like he's played for the majority of his career, I think the team has a shot. He's a playmaker that can make average players look very good. He can make average offensive lines look very good because of his quickness and his elusiveness and his ability to extend plays. I think the only thing is going to be they have to really have a solid running game and allow the offensive line to have a semblance of a balance between the run and the pass, which the Giants haven't had. I think running the ball is going to be an important part of that process this year. And I hope Jackson Dart he gets an opportunity to play this year because I want to see what he can do. But, rookie quarterbacks in the NFL, I think the last couple of years we've had great ones, but that doesn't mean, in Jaden Daniels. But the majority of rookie quarterbacks struggle, and I wouldn't be surprised if he struggles.
I was going to ask you about Jackson Dart, and if you think that he will have an opportunity to jump into that QB1 role at any point this season, or if you think it will be Russell Wilson for the majority or for all of the season.
Well, I don't want him to have the QB1 this year. And you got to think about some of the quarterbacks that transition the best. The NFL is not a finishing school. The NFL is a place where you come in when we're developed. I think of Patrick Mahomes and the way he took a year. I think of Aaron Rodgers, the way he took a couple of years. I think sitting out and not letting everybody see your warts as a young quarterback, especially the mentality that, the confidence that is affected by struggling when people who are super successful who get drafted in the first round. There's not a lot of quarterbacks that can take that pressure and the failure and keep moving forward when they've been so hyper successful throughout their entire career.
Amani Toomer, former New York Giants wide receiver, joining us on this Tuesday morning. Amani, I do want to kind of zoom out a little bit and look at the NFC East as a whole, because there's interesting storylines throughout with the Eagles, with what just happened with the Cowboys, the Commanders looking to build upon last season. Who do you expect to win the division this year in the NFC East?
Ooh, I'm really bullish on the Commanders, but if you look at the history of the NFC East, not the last couple of years since the Eagles have been dominating, but usually it's a team that everybody thinks is going to be the worst that comes out and wins the division. I don't know why it is, but that's just the way it is. I think it's competitive teams. It's hard to repeat the success in this division when everybody's so tightly knit together. It's just hard to ring the bell, especially when you have a target on your back because you won. I feel like there's two teams. I think the Eagles, the Commanders, and I think the Cowboys this year are going to have a great shot. I do not think the Giants are there yet. And plus, with their difficulty of schedule, I think it's going to be a step too far. I do think that they're going to have a better season. They're going to look better. But looking better and having a better record doesn't always it doesn't always equal the same kind of results.
So do you think Brian Daboll needs to have a better record this season to keep his job? Or do you think if they show signs of improvement and there's hope with that young quarterback that he'll be able to return for the 2026 season? Or do you think his seat is hot and he's coaching for his job?
I am not sure. I thought his seat was hot really last year, and I was very pleasantly surprised that he kept his job. I just feel like the continuity really is something that more NFL teams need to look at. When you look at the general manager, you look at and Joe Shan and Brian Daboll. I think they've done a good job over the last couple of years to try and put this roster back together and to make it a really competent professional level team in terms of deep depth and the talent. So I think all that is a good step forward.
And last question here for you, Amani, because with everything happening with the Cowboys this offseason, with Micah being traded, this just a huge just black cloud, it felt like, hanging over Dallas for the entirety of training camp. How does that type of situation impact the locker room?
Oh, it's definitely impacts the locker room because one of your best players walks out of the locker room. To me, that's like, it's very unsettling for players on the team because you usually think the only safety you have in the NFL is if you play well. And if you play well, you can pretty much, you're safe. But now when other things start to come in, when the business starts to come in such a dramatic way, it just shakes everybody's confidence. You're like, well, why am I here? Well, I got this big contract, but, what's to say Jerry's not going to, just one day get up and say, I want him gone. So it's an unsettling thing. I've been in locker rooms like that. When good players leave, it's a very much a shot. It shakes up the momentum that's built. And especially when you're on that team for a long time and it's been a certain way where the Cowboys never let good players go until they're gone, until they're not as good anymore. It's a very unsettling feeling. But now, Michael Parsons has been injured a lot over the last couple of years. He's missed a lot of games. So I don't know if it's going to be as big of the Cowboys have a strong roster. And I just feel like if they stay healthy, they're going to be just as competitive. And I think they're one of the only teams in the NFC East that can really compete talent-wise with the Philadelphia Eagles. So I think people are, really going out of their way to kind of go crazy about how the Cowboys' momentum in their locker room is, or how the Cowboys are going to do without Micah Parsons when they've had plenty of games when they had to be without him over the last 4 years.
I love it. Amani, thank you so much for taking some time out of your morning to chat with us. We'll catch up again soon. Hopefully the Giants get off to a good start. Well, the whole NFC East gets off to a good start over these first couple of weeks of the season. Appreciate you taking some time. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Of course. There goes Amani Toomer, former Giants wide receiver, Super Bowl 42 champion as well. Taking some time out of his Tuesday morning to chat with us about the Giants, about the NFC East. He's not wrong when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. Offensively, they have a lot of talent. Dak Prescott, the last time he played a full season, MVP type of season that Dak had. You've got CeeDee Lamb, one of the best wide receivers in the league. You've got George Pickens, who, when he's not going crazy on the sidelines, he's one of the better wide receiver twos in the NFL. You've got a solid, not necessarily great, but a solid offensive line. The running back room gives me huge questions. I'm not sure what to think about the running back room with what I think Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams. The offense, the running back room is bad.
The running back room is a D minus
here, but they're going to throw it 50 times a game and it won't matter. Just like that is what they do with Dak Prescott. The defense, though, now even without Micah, it was already a bad defense. It's now probably one of the bottom 3 units in the NFL. He's a little higher on the Cowboys than I am. I am not that high on Dallas. I think this might be a horrible season for Schottenheimer, and he's one and done.
Well, he's right, though. Like in the years past that I can think of, and ironically, the majority of the time, it was the Giants that benefited from this. But when we thought a team was absolutely, without a doubt, out of it, they found a way to either be in the thick of it or
the Commanders last year. Like we all went into the year going, they got their 5th choice coach.
Yeah.
They've got a quarterback that's good, but he probably needs a couple of years. And then they've got an old defense. And then what do the Commanders do? They go on and they nearly win the NFC East, nearly win the NFC.
And they actually almost, like the Cowboys almost beat the Commanders last year with Cooper Rush.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna completely count them out, at least for the first month or so. Like I got to see what it looks like. I think obviously you should be pessimistic on the defense. You lost a generational talent. You lost a lot of production in the passing,
the pass rush game.
Pass rushing, yeah. So all that is perfectly fine.
Hey, but they got Kenny Clark.
But look, you can mask some of it through scheme. You can mask some of it through committee. I will allow them to show me that they're as bad as I think. Like Arch, I will allow him to show me you're as bad as I thought. Yeah. So go ahead.
Show me you're bad, and then we can go from there. I hope too. He was talking about the Giants, Daboll and Jackson Dart. I hope Daboll has enough job security to not feel like he has to rush Jackson Dart in, because there's a part of this schedule that if they throw Jackson Dart in a little too early, he may get so shell-shocked and rattled that he will never be a good quarterback. Because they have at one point, if the Broncos defense is as good as we're expecting it to be here on September 2nd, they've got the Eagles, Broncos, Eagles in a 3-week stretch around week 10-ish, which is typically the spot where you might see a QB1 get slotted in. If they put him in there, that is just murderer's row of defenses, which may just rattle Jackson Dart to no end. But if Daboll has that type of job security to know, all right, I can wait on my QB1 of the future because I know I'll be here next year. I hope he has that type of job security, because I'm a Daboll guy. I think Brian Daboll is a good coach. We saw what he did with Daniel Jones when Daniel Jones was healthy before he tore an ACL, before he had like nerve damage in his neck or something that made it where he couldn't throw a football. The Giants offense won a dang playoff game. So I hope Daboll gets a chance to run his offense with a young Jackson Dart, and I think we could see some good things out of him. He just needs to be able to make it to 2026.
Yeah, I think I don't really agree with the idea that every quarterback should sit. I don't think that's an absolute. I think as a talent,
like Jaden Daniels didn't need to sit, but Jordan Love did.
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes probably didn't need to, but it probably benefited him that he sat.
Same with CJ Stroud, didn't need to sit, and probably a great thing that he didn't. Joe Burrow didn't need to sit. So it's
probably should have, because he blew out his knee. That's
because he didn't have an offensive line,
and he played on FedEx Field.
Yeah, but ability wise, it was fine, and I think we have to keep that in mind. I don't think Jackson Dart is a ready to start quarterback right now. So yes, he would benefit.
Yeah.
But the way he looked in preseason, handling the things that Daboll threw at him, like if you look at how coaches call plays and stuff, gives you a good indicator of what they think of a quarterback, especially when they're rookie.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of confidence in the play calling and for him to handle whatever was being thrown at him. So him sitting, I think, again, is like a good sauce. It's just going to marinate. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Yeah, put it in the fridge. It'll be better the next day.
I'm telling you,
or the next year in this case.
I'm telling you, once them sugars settle, it's gonna be fire.
That's what it's all about. All right, let's get a break in here. We'll step aside. Be back with a little news or snooze on this Tuesday morning after Labor Day weekend. Stay with us. 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code COOL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
Weather reports on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, brought to you by Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a premier Lennox dealer. Online at hermanallenplumbing.com.
106.1 ESPN weather.
Taking a look at today's weather forecast, it's currently 61 degrees with a low today of 57 and a high of 78. We're seeing clear skies throughout the morning with the clouds rolling in around 2 p.m. and overcast skies continuing throughout the afternoon. We're feeling a bit of a northern breeze, averaging at about 5 miles per hour with gusts up to 11 miles per hour. And temperatures will be rising for the rest of the week with a high tomorrow of 81 and a high Thursday of 85.
From rush hour to Richmond Roar, Bob Black's voice is your sun-splashed co-pilot. Dive into all the stats, fiery takes, and the kind of energy that beats brake lights. Weekdays, 4 to 6 p.m., your drive's new favorite huddle. News or snooze.
Welcome in, everybody, to News or Snooze, the segment where the producer takes over. It's everybody's favorite segment. We're going to get started because I want to get to this first topic. I'm not done with you. Arch Manning struggles in debut, out of control expectation.
Newsworthy. And also, I've got a problem with these out of control expectations. You know, maybe I watched too much of the I Think You Should Leave show on Netflix with Tim Robinson, but it reminds me of the Tim Robinson sketch where he's wearing a hot dog suit and they've crashed a hot dog car into a store. And everyone's like, who did such a thing? And then Tim Robinson in his hot dog suit goes, we're all trying to figure out who did this. Out of control expectations. That's from ESPN. We're all trying to figure out who did this. Who gave him out of control expectations?
Ooh,
I don't know. Maybe Paul Feinbaum saying
the guy.
He's the greatest quarterback since Tim Tebow.
Oh my gosh.
He struggles in his debut. Yes, okay. You probably want to rag on Arch. I want to rag on the out of control expectations part. Like, it is because Fox was just, I forgot Julian Sayin was a redshirt freshman making his collegiate debut in that game, because all we ever heard from Fox on Big Noon Kickoff was Arch. Look, there's 2 Arches outside of a McDonald's. Those are probably better than Arch Manning right now.
Arch was awful, man.
Goodness gracious.
And I don't want to pile on the kid, but I don't think it's unrealistic expectations until you say somebody who's never really started a game. Like, he started like 1, I think maybe 2 games. I always throw out the Louisiana Monroe game. I think was the first start. I always throw that out because I'm like, he didn't play anybody. But even his stats and what you saw in those games would never make you think that his projection or anything related to Tim Tebow or Heisman should come out of your mouth. Just say, hey, he's a Manning, and I expect him to be really good.
I love nerd numbers. He had negative 0.46 expected points added per play, which means just about every 2 plays, a point was taken off of the board.
I mean, they got it on the TV now.
It's just Matt Patricia schooled him up, and then he was off target on 34% of his throws. You said it at the open. They were scheming him up. They were giving him layups, and he could not hit the easy stuff.
He looked adopted. I'm sorry.
They kept saying, I think you texted me this. They kept saying he got his athleticism from his mom. I think he got his quarterback ability from his mom too.
Your family throws on one of the best quarterback camps in the nation.
You got Peyton, Eli as your uncles. Your dad's Cooper, and your grandfather's Archie Manning.
Oh, man.
And you look like your last name was Manfield.
It can't be understated. It was like all-time bad debut. I'm sure with these next couple cupcakes, people will be like, Arch is back. I think they got UTSA next, which I love my Roadrunners. I love them to death. Not known for defensive prowess. So.
So if Arch struggles again, then you gotta slam your hand down on the panic alarm.
Yeah.
Like, I think you are now, but even more so.
I'm panicking if I'm an NFL exec. If I'm Sark, I'm like, we can probably navigate it for a couple weeks before we
Sark can figure it out, and then. But yeah, if you're an NFL exec, you're like, well,
if you're the Browns and you were forward thinking was to get this guy, woo.
And Jimmy Haslam is friends with the Manning family, like all of this stuff. But I just also love out of control expectations. You are the ESPN. You are why the expectations were out of control. We're all trying to figure out who did this. Why were the expectations? Even Paul Feinbaum was like, he had too high of expectations coming into the season. Yeah, Paul, because of you.
I don't think asking you to complete a couple passes is high expectations, buddy.
It was something. So Arch Manning struggles in his debut in a big way.
6-yard drag. He's wide open. You can't throw in front of him. You throw it behind him.
He literally, first play of the game, I knew immediately he was bad. I think it was a play action rollout. He has the tight end about 6 yards from the line of scrimmage, wide open. Like, I could hit this pass. Throws it like 4 yards behind him. No, underthrows him.
Yeah, he skipped a couple passes.
He skipped it. And I immediately text my group chat. Arch stinks.
He was trying to do some quarter release a couple times too. I'm like, did you not throwing the ball properly when you use your regular throwing motion?
It was sad to watch. Like, it was just like, oh, he's not good. Maybe the moment was too big. Maybe that's what it was.
Though? How can that be? You're Arch Manning.
I know.
You're at Texas. You've even sat for 2 years. There's never been a star quarterback coddled more than this guy. And you get your debut, and that's how you. Sayin's been sitting for a year too.
It's insane. And
I'm sure it was big for him.
We didn't hear about Julian Sayin,
and all his receivers were dropping passes.
Fox Noon Kickoff, Big Noon Kickoff, didn't even bring up the fact that it was his collegiate debut. But I listened to an entire podcast. I was driving out to JMU for the game on Saturday, and I'm driving out. I'm listening to a podcast because it's before all the games start. And the podcast was Pablo Torre Finds Out. He had a sit down with Seth Wickersham, who wrote an entire book on quarterbacks. And a large portion of it is Arch Manning and like his come up. And he had been groomed to be the starter at a powerful, was the moment he had been groomed for. And he failed epically. And it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. I'm out on Arch. I was watching Lenora Sellers against UVA. Virginia Tech fans are going to hate me for that one. Lenora Sellers against Virginia Tech. I'm sold on Lenora Sellers. He's my QB1. Him, compared to Arch, just that dichotomy. You're like, oh, that's an NFL quarterback who is one of the top QB prospects in this year's draft. Arch Manning was all fluff, nothing else. And so we'll keep talking.
Real quick before we switch to the next topic. Are you familiar with Dragon Ball Z?
It depends. I know like some meme references, but not like a lot.
Saiyan has the ultimate.
Super Saiyan?
Yes, he has the ultimate leverage to market that. It would be crazy.
Get an NIL deal with Dragon Ball Z.
All right, next, Matthew Stafford will start the season opener against the Texans.
Newsworthy. This is huge for the Rams because there was a large portion of training camp where it looked like Stafford may miss at least the start of the season, if not more. He got an epidural on his back, though. And so that's something to monitor because epidurals aren't just given out because you need some pain, man. Like that is extreme pain management. And now it looks like he's going to start the season opener against the Texans, which the Rams, dark horse Super Bowl team, if Matthew Stafford is their quarterback. If it's Jimmy Garoppolo, if Jimmy GQ is the one coming out on that first drive for the Rams, they are by far the worst team in the NFC West. That is how much Matthew Stafford impacts this team, which makes this extremely newsworthy that he is expected to start that season opener.
Yeah, and real quick to the guys calling in, we're going to get to you. I'm leading the segment, so I can't answer the phone and do the lead of the segment. So just want to put that out there. I agree. If Stafford, if you don't have Stafford, your trajectory for the Rams is going to dip. I still think they'll be good enough to win enough games where they can sneak in as a wild card. But like you're talking about a team that people expect to contend for the division, a team that could, with a healthy Matthew Stafford, sneak up on somebody in the playoffs, almost beat the Eagles last year. Trajectory and projection, totally different with the healthy Stafford.
Yes, exactly. All right, what's the last one?
All right, the last one. Sports Illustrated writer cashes 190 to 1 Lee Corso parlay. I'm going to do it for you.
Heck yeah, because what a way to go out for Lee Corso.
My man.
Sports aren't scripted, but sports have a funny way of always kind of working out. Like he had his final show and he picked some upsets in there.
Yeah.
He picked Florida State over Alabama.
Yeah.
And that cashed. He put the Ohio State headgear on, which at the time wasn't a foregone conclusion.
I agree with him, though. Easiest call ever.
Yeah. Tennessee, he picked Tennessee over Syracuse. He picked South Carolina over Virginia Tech. He picked Miami over Notre Dame, and he picked LSU over Clemson. And so, and
that's a tough one too.
That's a tough one. And you're going against historical trends by picking LSU because they had lost their every season opener under Brian Kelly. But so congratulations to Lee Corso. Good for them. Good for him.
Did he cash the 190 to 1?
That's the real question. I don't think Lee needs that. I think Lee's fine.
you don't never actually need it, but it helps the ego.
Yeah, but what a way to go out, man. Like that is awesome. That is awesome. Awesome. It's a bummer he has to retire. I get it. He's old. What, he's like 90 or something?
Yeah, he's been here a while.
But man, his brain is still sharp. They did the picks that Lee Corso has had over the entirety of his career. He hits his picks at granted, they're straight up. They're not spreads, but I think he hits them at like a 65% clip.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, in the last couple years, I pointed out to my friends, I was like, Lee kind of sharp, man. Like he was on Vandy, in their ascension.
He was on Florida State as a 2-touchdown dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I'm a Florida State fan. Even I wasn't like about to jump on that. I was like, I hope we come out and don't embarrass ourselves. Lee was like, without a doubt, they're winning.
Yep. He's a believer in Tommy.
I need his people who give him his stats and stuff. I need those in my pocket. We could definitely do a 190 to 1.
Yeah, we'll get that connected. All right, let's get our last break in here of hour number 1. We'll step aside, be back to wrap it up and get you set for hour number 2 on this Tuesday morning right here on 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Traffic reports on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, brought to you by Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a premier Lennox dealer. Online at hermanallenplumbing.com.
Your trash is treasure at CNC Cullet Recycling. From copper wire to radiator ends, cans to lead batteries, CNC Cullet Recycling will pay cash or check for your unwanted scrap metal. No load is too large or too small. Don't dump it, recycle it, and get paid at CNC Cullet Recycling, just south of Maple Street on Route 1 in Ashland. Free local container services available too. CNC Cullet Recycling, open every weekday and a half day on Saturday. Check the latest cash scrap prices online right now at cccullet.com. That's CCCULLET.
Air Supply.
50th anniversary celebration, November 23rd, Dominion Energy Center. Performing their iconic hits in one night. On sale at DominionEnergyCenter.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T.
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ALL to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text ALL to 321-321. That's ALL to 321-321.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition product.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account at Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
At East Coast Appliance, our Labor Day customer appreciation sale is still going strong with huge savings on new and scratch-and-dent appliances. Save up to 50% off new appliances store-wide. Special offers on dishwashers and laundry pairs and limited time 0% financing you won't want to miss. Always same day or next day delivery and install available. The Labor Day customer appreciation sale at East Coast Appliance. The best price or it's free.
I'm getting so sick of going to the laundromat. Didn't you just get a new washer and dryer? Yeah, but it still hasn't arrived. Where'd you get it? One of those big hardware stores. And every time I call, I get the garden department, lumber department, or something like that. Next time, let me know. I have this appliance guy who does same day or next day delivery and install. I'm going to call and cancel my order. Great idea.
You should never have to wait weeks or even days for a new appliance. Shop East Coast Appliance today and get the best price or it's free.
Score big with the 106.1 ESPN app.
Listen live anywhere.
Crystal clear coverage, breaking news, and Richmond's rowdiest sports debates. Tap in and turn it up.
Everybody here, let's get into it. Get started, get started.
Welcome back in on this Tuesday morning. Fitz the Bill. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick Allen alongside. We had some people calling in last segment. Feel free. Call in, text in 804-327-0888. To start off hour number 2, we can go right on out to the phone lines and do it all about Arch or whatever you want to talk about. Take it wherever you want because hour 2, we've got so much to talk. We're going to keep talking about Arch Manning, of course, in hour 2. We're also going to talk a little bit about Chapel Bill and what happened last night.
Life.
I got some reactions. They were from Colin Cowherd and Skip Bayless about what it was like after the first drive and to see how poorly those takes aged instantly. 41 unanswered points at one point for TCU, just completely obliterated UNC. Tough look for Bill Belichick. Miami, their game, will react to that. And the state schools opening weekend. And as UVA looks like, UVA and JMU look like the top 2 teams in the state as it stands right now. Liberty's slight win. I mean, Liberty fans probably upset about the 28-7 win over Maine. So we'll dive into all of that. But I do want to go back to the NFC East just briefly. We had Amani Toomer on in the second segment early around 8:15. The former Giants wide receiver talking about everything that he's seeing in the NFC East this year. He mentioned it. It's tough to win back-to-back. It's tough to win it again, and that's why I like the Commanders to win the NFC East. All right, let's go out to the phone lines. Espo is on line one. Good morning, Espo. How are you doing?
Happy Purple and Gold Tuesday.
Big win for your LSU guy. They finally won a season opener.
Yeah, JMU was great.
Yeah. I like him, and it catches my humor. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we get two big wins. JMU kind of expected by a lot of people. LSU not kind of expected, except by me, who kind of knew where we were going. Do we have to hear more about there's really a Death Valley in South Carolina? The only Death Valley in South Carolina is at Myrtle Beach on the beach. It's ridiculous. Good atmosphere, pretty overrated team. We had to hear about that great defensive line. Did you see how LSU pass blocked? Did you see the grades for LSU's brand new offensive line? They said
they did a pretty darn good job at slowing down that defensive line led by TJ Parker with Clemson. That was an insane performance from LSU.
80% pass blocking grades across the board on the offensive line. A championship effort, 75. They average 80 across the board. One guy, Braylon Moore, the center, who's just fabulous. I mean, what an upgrade from Chester. But Chester's not a bad player. He just had a position last year. But what a great performance. And it's underrated how good they did. They ran the football. They haven't run the football in 3 years.
And that's how you win games. That's how you win games. You need to run the football.
Ask JMU. Boy, what a running performance they had.
Yeah. From an unexpected source in Wayne Knight. If you had told me that Wayne Knight would be leading the right way rushing, I would have called you crazy.
Yeah. And how about Virginia with a big win? I don't care if it's Coastal Carolina.
No,
that was a statement win.
It's a D1 team, isn't it? It's an FBS team, right? Like that was a big win. And that's not a win that UVA would have had last season or 2 seasons ago. Heck, 2 seasons ago, they're losing that quote unquote Sun Belt game when they played JMU 2 years ago. Like that was a huge win for. Look, I was bullish on them coming in. Maybe I'm still a little too bullish on them, but they showed me a lot of reasons for excitement this season.
I agree, and I think Coach Tony did a great job with that team. I've said that since last year. He's the right guy for that job. Came from a big program, knows what it takes to win, wins in the trenches, which is where he won, this week. But what a great performance. I'm so glad for that guy because, they badmouthed him for 2.5 years.
And, I mean, he was dealt such a tough hand to start his coaching career at UVA. Now I would have been on the bandwagon of complaining about him if it was maybe a bad game against Coastal, if they had, God forbid, lost that game, or if this season didn't go their way. But after that first game, I will happily defend Tony Elliott this season until, of course, he shows me that I shouldn't. But so far up to this point, he has not done that.
Hey, look, I'm happy with Tech too. I mean, they played a good first half. That was obviously a much more talented team they had to play in South Carolina. And, did it on the road. I mean, what do you want? I mean, Friday did a good job. So, we like to complain, but we ought to at least pass out the laurels when they deserve them. And it was a good half for Tech. Virginia played a great game. JMU, of course, dominated. And LSU with a fabulous, game plan. I thought Kelly did a good job, too, game planning against Dabo. It was a very good game.
Yeah, for sure. Espo, thank you so much for calling in. Have a great rest of your day. I mean, he's a little higher on Virginia Tech after that performance than I am. I'm not ready to hand out congratulations and good jobs to Brent Pry because the offense did nothing. I went to Parlay Bar and Lounge actually to watch that game, and it was me and some friends, and one of my friends is a Virginia Tech alum. So I was cheering him on with her, and I was like, "How do you do this every week? How do you do this? Is
Virginia
so
Tech
sad.
experience? You've never ridden
I've never
that roller coaster where you're up and down.
It was never up. It was all down from kickoff. It was South Carolina drove. We'll talk about it more in hour number 2. But man, if you're a Virginia Tech fan, how do you have any hope? Like, how do you have hope? You watch that game, and how do you look at the rest of the season thinking, "Oh, we can do it"? Your offense did nothing. And you're led by a quarterback that's supposed to be one of the what? All right, more coming up in hour number 2. Stay with us. Fitz the Bill on this Tuesday morning, ESPN Richmond, where Richmond talks sports.
Hey, my name is Wally Rayner, former NFL linebacker. Wahoo wah. Hey, I'm here in Richmond, and when I'm riding around, I listen to Border to Border at 106.1 ESPN.
Catch up on the latest horse racing news with Off to the Races live broadcast, 10 to 11 every Saturday morning on 106.1 ESPN. Presented by The Racing Biz.
Summertime in RVA means one thing. Golf season is here. If you're looking for the perfect golf course, head over to Queenfield Golf Club, located just a few minutes east of Mechanicsville. Queenfield offers a beautifully secluded 18-hole course, spacious driving range, and professionally maintained practice greens and bunkers. Schedule your tee time today by calling 804-769-8838 or reserve a spot online at queenfieldgolf.com. And make Queenfield Golf Club your new favorite course.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
Hey, Richmond, looking for more Fitz the Bill content and behind-the-scenes looks into the show? Well, follow us on Instagram at Fitz the Bill ESPN RVA. You'll get all of the clips, exclusive hot takes, and so much more. Follow us at Fitz the Bill ESPN RVA on Instagram.
From the ESPN studio,
Presented by Ortho Virginia.
find one of Ortho Virginia's orthopedic locations at orthovirginia.com.
W291CL Lakeside Richmond. WURV HD2 Richmond.
We are 106.1 ESPN. You're listening to the second hour of Fitz the Bill on 106.1 ESPN.
Welcome in hour number 2 of Fitz the Bill right here on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick alongside Alan as we get this week started after the Labor Day weekend. And before we dive too deep into anything, we want to let you guys know that we are proud to be a sponsor for the Virginia Council of CEOs Fall Leaders Conference, September 25th. Check out the link in our Instagram bio at Fitz the Bill ESPN RVA to get your tickets and use code FITZ, code FITZ at checkout to be part of this event. Don't miss the Virginia CEOs Fall Leaders Conference, September 25th. It is an awesome event open to business owners, executives, and of course, their teams for high impact, everything that you need to inspire your team and sharpen your leadership edge. So you can get tickets at Fitz the Bill ESPN RVA. There's a link in our bio. Use code FITZ, FITZ, at checkout. Let's go out to the phone lines. Reggie is on line 1. Good morning, Reggie. How are we doing?
I'm doing great with the Virginia Union invitation. Whipping up on Miles College again.
That was a amazing
national
performance.
game. Yeah, they don't recruit, they reload up there on Lombardi Street. As Gil Brandt once said, if you want to get a football player, go that little street down Lombardi Street. And we know that's the Hall of Famer, Gil Brandt of that team in Texas. I don't know what the owner's doing, but I just say that team in Texas. That's all I'll say for that, for the obvious reasons. But guys, I'm just so elated with this week. But what situation with Virginia quarterback? Didn't he get hurt at the game?
Did Chandler Morris get hurt in that game?
I believe so.
Oh yeah, his injury
Check the
status. Yeah, his status is up in the air after a helmet to helmet hit, but they're hopeful they'll have him back. That has not been that he's out yet. So we're still under the assumption that he will play in their next game.
I mean, it just figures they get a quality quarterback. if things are hyped this year, then the first game, next thing you know, the season might be up in there. Who's the backup quarterback?
That's a great question. All of this offseason.
You better get ready for him.
This entire offseason, we're talking about how great Chandler Morris is, how exciting it is to have him on the team. And I got to figure out who their backup quarterback is, because he may be getting some run here on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, that's on us. We should have figured. Chandler Morris has had a history of injuries.
Look, I like to focus on the positives around.
I know. I wasn't trying to put that on him again either.
I'm dealing with reality.
Yeah, the helmet hit. We got to figure out who the backup is. But it's a shoulder sprain, so that could be pretty important. You need that shoulder to throw, and hopefully it doesn't throw him off. But I do want to go back to Virginia Union real quick, Reggie. You said they don't rebuild, they reload. You're right, because it's kind of like Jada Byers, and I know Jada Byers is like one of the greatest running backs in Union history, but Curtis Allen, their transfer running back they got in, he averaged 11 yards per attempt. 11 yards. What is it with that offensive line over there on Lombardi Street that makes it where they can just rush willy-nilly?
Joe Taylor. The Hall of Famer Coach Joe Taylor and Dr. Parker, they said saddle them up. So Herb Scott, formerly of Union and the Dallas Cowboys, should be in the Hall of Fame in the Ring of Honor. Matter of fact, he's in the Ring of Honor down there in Dallas. And I'm telling you, Bush Johnson once told me, if I want to get to the promised land, I go behind Route 68. Route 68 is Herb Scott. And I tell you what, that is a bad dude. He cleared the way, and he took care of business.
It is impressive. Reggie, thank you so much for calling in. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll catch up again soon.
Appreciate it.
There goes Reggie. He brought up Union, and it is a bummer with Chandler Morris. Like, he is a guy that has had injury issues in his career. I hope this isn't all that bad. It is positive news that Tony Elliott is hopeful that Chandler Morris will be able to go in their next game. But if not, they've got a couple of guys next up for him, and they will be relied on heavily if Chandler Morris can't go, to try and keep the momentum rolling forward. All right, we're going to keep it out on the phone lines. Bruce is on line one. Good morning, Bruce. How you doing?
Good morning, Fitz. Good morning, Alan. Man, y'all put in some work this past weekend, bro. Give y'all some kudos. Happy B-Day, Alan. And let me just pose this quick question to both of you. Do y'all have a favorite or top 3 30 for 30?
Bo Jackson's is up there.
Yeah, Bo Jackson's and the Last Dance and the Ric Flair one. I still remember the Ric Flair one. I watched that with my son, and I have a picture of him at he was blueberry picking. He's probably like 1.5. Yeah. And he's riding around in his stroller yelling, woo! It was the greatest thing ever, but also not age appropriate, but happy that he only took away the woo. It was like his favorite thing to do for like a year.
That's awesome.
Can I ask that you add this one to your 30 of 30? And I'm surprised he is not the face of NIL, but can you add Youngstown boys to your favorite 30 for 30? I think if you look at that again and you look at what getting a vehicle did to Maurice Clarett in his future,
yeah,
you got to look at that one, man. And we talk about NIL and we talk about what NIL does. Maurice Clarett should be the face of how NIL is a benefit to college athletes. He should be the face. Because what Ohio State did to him, and of course I'm an Ohio State Buckeyes fan, have been since the 70s.
And
what they did to him.
And they should free SMU as well. Since we're going that far back, SMU and all the other programs that kind of, line some pockets of some of their top athletes, they should all be a sponge.
Well, you got a great point. Because that's a good 30 for 30. But I had a chance to watch that yesterday, man, and what Ohio State did to this guy, man, after being told, go and see this guy and get you a car. It's repulsive. It really was.
They also like railroaded Terrell Pryor with everything that happened with him too. Like Ohio State, they have done that on multiple occasions, and it's just what Terrell Pryor got a free tattoo.
The Big Ten is a travesty to rules. Well, it's funny, like if you think about it, they never get the same kind of reputation as a conference as like the SEC or like Miami and all these other schools that have been in trouble for breaking rules, air quotes. Like you don't hear about it too much when it comes to Ohio State or Jim Tressel for that matter.
Or the AD.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, man. Just wanted to drop that out, man. Sun splash Tuesday morning out here. So you guys enjoy this day, man.
Appreciate it. You as well, Bruce. Have a great Tuesday. I don't know why I said Tuesday in a weird way like that.
Because it feels like a Monday, but it is Tuesday.
It is. It does feel like a Monday. I forgot where I was going before we went to the phone lines. Feel free, call, text in 804-327-0888.
Can I steer it in a direction? When I see that sweater vest, I get PTSD, man.
The Jim Tressel sweater vest?
That's the playbook that you saw on Saturday. That was the Jim Tressel playbook. It wasn't Urban Meyer because it wasn't the QB power through the C gap, as he loves to talk about, which Quinn called him out on that during Big Noon, which was absolutely hilarious. Because they were like, Coach, what would you do in this situation? What adjustment would you make? And he was trying to articulate QB power without calling it QB power. And Quinn was like, yeah, QB power through the C gap. And everybody just bust out laughing. He was like, yep. He was like, I forgot, Barnett, or I think it was Barnett or Barrett. JT Barrett. Yeah, he was like, yep, JT Barrett.
JT Barrett, baby.
Yeah.
Good times. What a time.
We were talking UVA.
We were talking UVA. Yeah. Oh, and their quarterback situation, they got to figure that out. That is,
we got to figure. I need to go look up the backup.
Well, here's the thing. Let me get on to something real quick. This is why we need two deeps.
Yeah, that's true.
Goodness gracious. People, we don't need to give out two deeps. We don't have to get, you know what? The other team already knows you're dang two deep. They're watching film. They know what you run. They can figure it out. Look, I'm a JMU hardo. I have my own JMU. I host a show here, Talking Dukes. I have another podcast. I produce. I am JMU all the time. I can figure out who the two deep is for the most part. I whiffed on some, but just by listening to interviews and kind of piece, it's not hard. Just release a dang two deep. So instead, we're now here like, who would be the quarterback backup for UVA? I mean, and we can figure it out. It'll be pretty easy. But like, if the team just announced it, it wouldn't be that difficult. And that's the end of that high horse.
Release the two deeps.
Release the two deeps.
That's what you should run on.
You can hear me rant some more this Thursday out at Dave & Buster's from 6 to 8, or I guess 7:45 ish. We'll be out there. We'll doing Raising Hail. Jordan and Alan will be doing Raising Hail from 6 to 7. Then from 7 to 7:45 out at Dave & Buster's, we'll be ranting for 45 minutes straight, just about what we can expect out of the game Thursday night between the Eagles and the Cowboys that kick off the 2025 season. We're going to be out in Short Pump, so come on by, say hi, play some games. Maybe I might challenge Alan to the Papa Shot basketball game afterwards to see who's the rightful best Papa Shot player.
I'll try.
But come on out, hang out with us from 6 to 8. And then, of course, the NFL season kicks off with the Cowboys and the Eagles playing against each other on a little Thursday night football. So very much looking forward to that. And put this in your calendars now. It's a big, big thing. Our first ever Talk of the Town is tomorrow. Our in-season Talk of the Town, where we catch up with one of the top players and coaches from this last weekend of high school football. This last weekend, we were out at Highland Springs for Highland Springs Hopewell, and man, oh man, did the Springers look good.
Yeah, they did.
They got and I know that's not breaking news or anything, but they've got a running back.
My friend's on the Hopewell sideline, man.
Hey.
Didn't want to see him go out like that.
Hey, it was tough.
It was rough.
It was rough for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that defense was fine all over the place.
That defense was setting off some fireworks, man.
They 2 pick sixes, 3 interceptions. They also blocked a punt that was a safety.
And again, we're talking. We're not picking at anybody, but just to kind of let people know the tone that was set. Hopewell was struggling to move the ball. They finally crossed the 50, and that had to be the hardest hit. Like Highland Springs was up by so many points. Very easy for the team to let up. But there was just no let up on this team. Like the kid crossed the 50, and took a hit that really made everybody in the stadium gasp.
We were hanging out in the opposite end zone, so as far away as we possibly could from this play, and we heard the hit.
Yeah.
And Alan and I look at each other and go, oh, yeah. And so did the entire stadium.
Definitely a mentality set. And I wanted to call back to this. I think you or somebody was talking, and you were talking about like defense and what keeps the defense good and things like that. Defense, I feel like, is more of a mentality than anything else. Yeah. Like that.
Well, it's reactionary, right?
Like, and me even talking about it gets me fired up because I'm a defensive-minded guy.
Yeah.
But you have to be willing to throw your body on the line and punish people and yourself in that manner.
And it's like playing defense is much different than playing offense. Like offense is you are the aggressor, kind of. Like you are the one that is doing the movements, and the defense has to react to it. So you're already at a disadvantage. So how you make up for that is with just aggression and being able to put your body on the line every single play. And it's a mindset. You're right.
So I just loved everything I saw from Holland Springs and how they approached the game. Even with the game getting out of hand, there was just no let up.
Yeah.
Even their JV kids were hustling out there. So it was good to see that live. You know, they've got a good machine and program up there.
Yeah, they do. Eric Bird, their running back.
Frank Gore.
Frank Gore.
That's what he looks like.
He's 5'8", listed at 180. Not 180.
He's not 180.
But he is a human bowling ball. Had 3 touchdowns. One with a nasty stiff arm,
friend
another
or foe. He'll run over everybody.
Nasty truck stick that he administered to his own teammate and an opponent.
He's in the way. I agree. You're in the hole. Get out the hole.
We chatted with Eric after the game. You can find those post-game interviews over on Fitz the Bill, ESPN RVA. Those are brought to you by Ortho Virginia and Dave & Buster's. So we'll be having those most games. Try to get all the games in. We'll have some post-game interviews with at least a coach. We'll try to get a player in there as well. So you can follow along. Fitz the Bill, ESPN RVA on Instagram. We'll put them up on YouTube as well. Things of that sort. So you can follow along, subscribe, follow, do all of that fun stuff. So you never miss it. This Friday will be, we're working to be out at the Verina Maury game out at Verina. Alan will be out there. I won't complain too much, but fall weddings are the bane of my existence.
No, man, look, my friend, bless his heart, is getting married in November. And I graciously declined and sent them a present. I mean, I can't. I have to work.
Yeah, so Alan will be at the Verina Maury game. I will be following along on my phone, and I will be at a rehearsal dinner on Friday
Maury
night.
Lost their first game, I think.
Verina crushed William Fleming. So
sometimes that sets up kind of worse for the team that won, because now the team that probably came in, it's going to be different. I think they ranked second in the state.
They're good. It's a massive early season test, but if Verina can pull off that win, they put the state on notice. I think they're already on notice. I think people are. I mean, they're already the top team in this area, but that will put them like at the top of the pecking order in the entire state. So we're trying to get out there for the Verina Maury game this Friday as well. You can go out there, hang out with Alan, say hi to him.
Yeah. And we'll also be at Colonial Downs, but I don't think I can be 2 places at once. So don't expect me out
everywhere
there
all the time. 2 places at once. Once we figure out that science behind it, we'll go with that. So Dave & Buster's Thursday, Verina Maury Friday, along with Colonial Downs. So much coming this week through ESPN Richmond. So very excited for it. We're going to get a break in here. We're going to get on Chapel Bill a little bit because what happened last night down there in Chapel Hill, North Carolina was is amusing the right word? I think amusing's the right word. Bill Belichick nearly lost by as many points as the age difference between him and his girlfriend. We'll talk about that on the other side. ESPN Richmond.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? back. If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code COOL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Call Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling at 804-746-5853 today to learn more about their award-winning Lennox product offerings.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code COOL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Thursday Night Football is here. 106.1 ESPN Richmond is kicking it off in style. The NFL talk gets going with Racing Hill from 6 to 7. Then join us live at Dave & Buster's in Short Pump for our brand new NFL pregame show, Countdown to Kickoff. This week, hosted by Jack Fitzpatrick of Fitz The Bill. Jack will get you set for one of the league's fiercest rivalries, the Cowboys and Eagles, under the lights on Thursday Night Football. It's all presented by Dave & Buster's in Short Pump and 106.1 ESPN Richmond. Your home for the NFL all season long and where Richmond talks sports.
He loves sports. He loves talking about sports. And just like you, he's got a lucky jersey that hasn't been washed for 6 seasons.
It's going to smell like hot dog.
Jamie King is live weekday mornings from 7 to 8 on 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
I need somebody, not just anybody. You know, I need someone.
That's what Bill Belichick was telling Jordan Hudson last night when they got home.
If she talked to him.
If she talked to her.
That's her meal ticket, man.
She may have broke up with him. For all we know, she could have gone over to the other sidelines with Sonny Dykes.
All right, look, before we start bashing my man Bill, I want to put a couple things into perspective. For starters, what Deion did to Sonny Dykes a couple years ago was phenomenal. And I think finally we get some perspective on that.
How good that was.
Because people, for some reason, tried to downplay it. To come in with a group of kids, I don't care if you got Shador and Travis Hunter, that collection of your unit of 22 players on that field were put together virtually last minute. And you outperformed a program that's been going consistently for at least 3-4 years at that time with Sonny in his system.
Yeah.
To come up with a game plan that can keep up scoring-wise with that offense and that tempo was in and of itself probably Deion's best coaching job to this date. Even with all these other wins, the fact that he started with that win was phenomenal. Now, in Bill's case, yikes. That's all I got to say. Yikes.
Yeah, Bill, didn't look too good. So they go down the field. They score on their very first drive. And I just want to read a couple of tweets that I saw trickling through the internet yesterday. Right after the first score. This is around 8:16 p.m. So they've gone down the field. It was like a 7-play, 80-some-odd yard drive. Mm-hmm. And Colin Cowherd tweeted, wasn't really sure what to expect from Chapel Bill, but after that drive, I have him as the second best college coach I've ever seen.
I love these
just guys. Below Saban. Skip Bayless. Wow. Belichick has a national championship offense. Heels just shredded Frogs defense. What happened from there, you may ask? Well, TCU would go on to have a pick 6 or 2 sprinkled in there. There was a 75-yard touchdown run from TCU at one point as they went on to win 48-14, absolutely routing Bill Belichick. Worst loss as a college coach, no duh, because it's his first loss in his first game as a college coach. Fun fact, Bill Belichick, the most points he ever allowed in an NFL game, he coached over 500 NFL games, was 47 points. He allowed 48 last night in his first ever college game. Gio Lopez was the QB1 coming into the year. He went 4 of 10, 69 yards, an interception. Max Johnson came in, the backup. He went 9 of 11, 103 yards with a touchdown. But overall, the team was just out of sorts. They had a great script, but just were unable to keep up with the style of play that TCU has, with what Sonny Dike has. And it's tough to overcome any type of game when you allow 2 defensive touchdowns. It was a rough outing for Bill Belichick, who got outgained by 320 yards.
Well, the crazy part is, too, they had a weak link, I believe, at corner, and they were just, I mean, it was almost cruel how they were exploiting that young man. But, I mean, that's what you get with a seasoned coach at this level, right? And Bill doesn't have but so much control over the talent that he has in his first year, but there was just some fundamental things just off about that team, starting with the tackling, which is something you expect from a Bill Belichick taught football team.
Well, it's also wild because, like, you see what Matt Patricia did as the defensive coordinator, this great, quote unquote, great defensive mind coming from the Bill Belichick system, what he did at Ohio State, right? He completely put Arch Manning into a blender. He was throwing sim pressures at him. He was changing the way the picture looked right at the snap. Arch had no idea what was happening on most plays because Matt Patricia was like, oh, I'm a freshman kid. Like, this is going to be easy. Bill Belichick, regarded as the best defensive coach in the history of the NFL, couldn't slow down TCU. And I'm not trying to poo-poo TCU or anything, but like, you're the greatest defensive mind that we've ever seen in football. You should be able to have some defensive plays that confuse TCU. But I think it goes back to what you were saying, Alan. They don't have necessarily the talent to execute what Bill wants. Not an excuse for Bill. You're still the coach. You still have to find ways to be competitive. And they just weren't competitive. They allowed 13 points in the second quarter, 21 points in the third quarter. And I mean, that's just abysmal in the middle part of the game.
So how familiar are you with the air raid as a concept?
I'm pretty familiar.
Okay. So not only was it Sonny Dykes, who's basically like one of the founding children of the air raid, but it's his offensive coordinator, Kendall freaking Briles, which I failed to mention.
Oh, yeah. Art Briles' son.
So it's the air raid on steroids. You got to prepare for that. I was talking to one of my friends who was like, why are they down 20 still running the ball? I said, well, technically they're still in the game. I said, because TCU's getting on the ball in 5 seconds. I was like, so it's not like they're running clock. So if you're down 20 against an offense with this kind of tempo, you're being efficient in scoring. And if you can get a stop, Michigan, because they kind of had that situation, you can stay in the game.
Yeah.
And actually overwhelm them just through physicality. I was like, but they went 182 minutes, I think I saw, without completing a pass or something crazy like that.
Gio Lopez, he left the game in at halftime with a back injury, but there was a point where it was like over like an hour and a half real time that he did not complete a pass. Maybe even longer, like you said. Like there was a graphic at one point in the game that said Gio Lopez's last completion was like 8:16 p.m. Eastern.
And then they were also awful on specialty at all levels. The only win they had was that scripted drive, which
it was.
Hey, the script works. It's great.
Script was perfect. I mean, it was fantastic.
Yeah, you couldn't drew it up better. You got Roy Williams and Lawrence Taylor, and Michael Jordan up there, Mia Hamm,
Jordan Hudson,
and then it was a constant surrender Cobra.
And then TCU football had the most epic troll job of all time. We all remember TCU's Twitter account during their national championship run. They're back in national championship form. North Carolina football tweeted on August 24th, excited to showcase our program this fall on Hulu, which is essentially they're doing a Hard Knocks, but for UNC on Hulu. TCU football last night at 12:20 a.m. quote tweeted that tweet and said, when does episode 1 come out?
That's great.
They were on one last night.
They took a lot of the Colorado upset out on Bill too. They talked heavily about, the amount of attention that Bill in North Carolina got coming into this game was reminiscent of what happened to them when they were going up against Deion. And I believe Coach Briles had said something like, not necessarily tongue in cheek, but was kind of taken tongue in cheek, like Deion isn't the one playing, type talk. And they came out and got beat. They were not having it this particular time. So
I've got a couple other good tweets from TCU. Ready?
Yeah.
The real LT with a picture of
with Daniel Thompson. That one's disrespectful. Let's not go there.
And then someone tweeted, just like a random account 2 days ago, if Matt Patricia has Arch Manning in hell, what do we think Bill Belichick will do to the poor kid at TCU? TCU quotes it and goes, I guess we'll never know.
Well, I mean, he had a running back or running backs that were getting like 15 yards a carry. They couldn't tackle.
That was, it's great stuff from TCU football.
Yeah.
Couple other games I want to touch on. Miami gets a big win over Notre Dame. But
I need a rage button.
They nearly blew a 14-point lead. They were up 21-7 on Notre Dame. CJ Carr, the redshirt freshman quarterback, I like CJ Carr. I think he looked promising in the game, but early on they were definitely giving him some layups. Spoiler alert, he was actually hitting his layups, unlike Arch Manning.
Yeah.
But CJ Carr, the offense wasn't really clicking with him the first couple of drives. Miami takes advantage of it. They've got a stellar slot, little speedy freshman, last name Tony, Michael Tony, something, but last name Tony. Very, very good, very electric. He scored the first touchdown for Miami. They build out a 21-7 lead, and then Miami nearly blows it. Notre Dame finds a rhythm. They get their guys going, and they tie it up and ends up going back and forth, and Miami kicks the game-winning field goal with about 60 seconds left on the clock, and they pull out a pretty big win. And Carson Beck, look, I was down on Carson Beck. I was down on Miami. I'm still not up on Miami, but I'm up on Carson Beck. He looked good. He was going through his progressions really well. He had some really good zip on the ball. It pains me to say that Carson Beck was good for Miami in that game.
I have some concerns.
I mean, yeah, you blow a 14-point lead.
No, not even with Miami.
With who? Notre Dame?
Yes.
Like what?
The trenches was awful. That's always been a strength of their program. They got bullied a lot. And the way they called this game, I mean, there's a lot of issues I take with the play calling, the stupid screens. Like you just can't.
They were getting layups for their redshirt freshman quarterback.
But you can't go side to side against athletic defenses like that, right?
That's valid.
You should be going directly at them, or if you want to give him layups, give him some dragging routes that kind of come across the middle of the field and just give him at least different looks. Like they kept trying to do a different variation of the same screen concepts, and one of them got picked, which was ridiculous. The corner was all over it. But like you're not doing yourself any favor going side to side against a team like Miami. You have to attack them. Jeremiah Love is arguably the best running back in the country.
That's what I was going to say.
He's got to get more than 10 carries.
That's what worried me was not him. Like, not only did he only have 10 carries, but he only got 33 yards. And for that first opening drive,
he didn't even touch the ball.
You've got a redshirt freshman. Yeah. I want to put the ball into Jeremiah Love's gut 4 or 5 times and let him really take over the game and make his imprint on it. Instead, they had CJ Carr throwing those quick screens, those quick hitting slants all down the field, ends up where they have to punt in that drive. And it just kind of felt a little off. Even the commentators were like, you have Jeremiah Love. Is he like not healthy? What's going on? So Jeremiah Love only getting 10 carries is worrisome. Only averaging 3.3 yards per carry is worrisome. And his longest rush was 8 yards.
Did you see the one that got called back where he hurdled the guy? Like, this is the athlete you're working with, man.
You gotta give him the rock.
You gotta treat him like Ashton Genty in this game because you have that young quarterback, and you don't want the game to fall on his shoulders in that moment going against this Miami defense. But I thought, despite the comeback, some of that's because that's just who Cristobal is, man. Similar to like Ryan Day and some of these other guys. Like, they don't really play to put you away. They just play to win. And that leads to comebacks from time to time. But I never thought they were technically out of control of the game just because of the play calling and the advantage they had up front.
I think I thought Notre Dame settled in well and then were able to put up those 17 points in the fourth quarter. There are some other worries, though, like Notre Dame only getting the ball to Malachi Fields 3 times, 3 catches from Malachi Fields. He was your kind of big transfer that was supposed to help this offense. So
that's the 6'5" kid, right?
Yeah. UVA transfer.
Yeah, he had a great catch.
He had a great catch. Between Malachi Fields, though, there was, not to jump around too much, who was it? I think it was CJ Daniels had the one-handed catch between 2 Notre Dame defenders. I was like, oh, baby, that was nice. But between Malachi Fields and Jeremiah Love, those 2 offensive players that should be 2 of your best offensive players only touched the ball 13 times, which for less than 100 yards, that's just not going to get it done.
Tony's going to be a problem.
So
Malachi Tony's going to be a problem.
Malachi Tony over on Miami side is going to be
he's going to be a problem.
That kid is
it's really crisp
really good. He had a what was it, like a in and out route?
Yeah. If you want to
burn Notre Dame,
if you ever want to evaluate young receivers, man, look at how they get in and out of their breaks. It's just something that comes with, like, it's one of those intangibles, I think.
Yeah.
Like not everybody can run routes as crisp as like a Larry Fitzgerald or something like that. It's an intangible. It's not something you can just train, I think. And I think Malachi Tony's special, man. So him and Carson Beck maintain their connection. Like 6 catches for 82 is probably the floor that we're looking at for most of his games.
We're looking at the ACC Rookie of the Year. Like,
yeah, more than likely.
He is very good. Yeah. All right, let's get a break in here. Step aside. We'll be back. Talk about what happened with the Virginia schools over the weekend. Virginia Tech, their offense. We'll break down what needs to happen for them to find some sort of offensive rhythm before their next game. Keep it locked right here. 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Horse racing is back, and it's time to get ready for another Triple Crown season.
Get the latest from the industry every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 with Off to the Races on 106.1 ESPN.
Presented by The Racing Biz.
Nick Hahn and Frank Vespi bring you their insight and knowledge,
Talking with the people making the headlines, including jockeys, trainers, and owners. Plus, get the expert picks each week, including a visit by Derby Bill Watson. It's Off to the Races each Saturday morning at 10 on 106.1 ESPN. Streaming live on the iHeartRadio app.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ALL to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text ALL to 321-321. That's ALL to 321-321.
Are you suffering from a sports injury, chronic pain, or something that just plain hurts? Ortho Virginia can help get you on the road to recovery. As the state's largest provider of orthopedic care, Ortho Virginia's team of specialists offers surgical and non-surgical treatment options. With 12 offices conveniently located in the Richmond area, visit orthovirginia.com or call 804-915-1910 to discover why at Ortho Virginia, stronger starts here.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
Serving Richmond and beyond for over 20 years, Bonaire Shell features a full line of automotive services. Check out BonaireShell.com, loaded with coupons, specials, and more to see all that they can do for your car and your peace of mind. And now with their Fuel Rewards program, you can save at least 5 cents per gallon on every fill-up. Learn more at FuelRewards.com. Go see the team at Bonaire Shell, 8762 West Huguenot Road. Go to BonaireShell.com or call them at 272-3232. That's 272-3232.
106.1 ESPN, home of Border to Border with Matt Josephs.
Dive into Virginia's hottest sports topics daily.
Agree or argue.
Matt's got the takes you can't ignore.
Welcome back in. Fitz the Bill rolling along on this Tuesday morning. It's a big day. It's a big September 2nd. Massive day. Massive day for someone on the other side of the glass. All right, welcome back in. Thank you for clocking in, getting your day started with us.
What was that?
Because it's your. I don't want to. I
mean, it's my birthday.
Yeah,
yes.
it is.
Yeah.
And we just figured it out when Bruce called in.
Well, I mean, I don't follow you on like social media and stuff because I feel like you get enough of me Monday through Friday. You don't need to follow me on social media. But yeah, I usually do some kind of signature post on my birthday to let everybody know it's my birthday. And in the only fashion that I know how, and that is to be
a troll.
Yes. So yeah,
probably
it is my
something
birthday.
about Arch Manning in there.
No. This has nothing to do with sports. It just shows my personality. And it's not radio appropriate.
Not radio appropriate.
No, it's basically I'm going to be me no matter what. And thank you for tuning in, and thank you for appreciating me for being me. There you go.
I love it.
Something simple.
So you know what was also simple?
If you're gonna say the Hokies in South Carolina, not really.
I was gonna say the Hokies offense because they couldn't score a point.
Yeah,
that offense was. The defense was good.
Defense was, all things considered, the defense was amazing.
Friend of the program, Kelvin Gilliam was in on that safety.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Great for him. Highland Springs alum. And that defense was great. Sam Seifkes, the defensive coordinator, balling for Virginia Tech's defense.
I mean, Sellers is a tough assignment.
Yeah. And now he got out of contain a couple of times, but overall,
his first touchdown was crazy.
His first touchdown was really good.
It was crazy.
But overall, they did a good job of kind of corralling everyone to get like South Carolina. They got theirs at times, but it could have been a lot worse.
They won the trench fight on the defensive side more often than not.
Yeah, and how that game started too. Like that game started with South Carolina just going right down the field, and it was just an easy peasy score. Ended up being a 24-11 win for South Carolina. South Carolina took advantage of 2 drones, interceptions. No one really got going on the ground for Virginia Tech. Marcellus Hawkins only had 58 yards. Drone had 26. No one else had over 20. Couple of good wide receivers for Virginia Tech. Donovan Green, 3 catches, 94 yards. Aiden Green looked special. 5 receptions, 71 yards, but none of them had a touchdown. I mean, the defense though was the bright spot now, for Virginia Tech.
Offensively too, man. They left a lot on the plate. Like it wasn't all on drones because when he did make the right throws, guys were just dropping it. It just was a bad game for the offense, and they really needed them not to have a bad game. And then again, uncharacteristic was a special team hiccup.
I was gonna say like this, like they lost this game because special teams messed up. Like, yeah, it was Beamer ball. There's Shane Beamer ball over on the other side.
I was trying to avoid that.
No, it is Beamer ball. At the bar, South Carolina fans were loving it when it was they're like, "This is what Beamer ball's all about," and it's like, "Oh, how have the mighty fallen?"
He ain't his dad. He ain't better than his dad.
I know.
Seen his dad
Virginia Tech fans.
I was just say I seen his dad in the national championship.
Yeah, Virginia Tech fans, stop texting me. That was a joke. That was a joke.
I'll defend Frank's legacy for sure.
Yeah. Frank, do you see Frank was in South Carolina gear though?
He was.
Yeah, that hurts.
You know what? It's family, man. It's family. What you want him to do?
I'm sorry. You have one son. You have 50,000 alum sons.
Hey, look, man. I feel like I'm in the rare realm where I would choose my team over my son.
You're like Saquon Barkley's dad.
Yeah, and it's competitive, right? Like I mean, yeah, that's my boy. I hope he plays well, but I don't want him to win. You know, like I would be that. That's just how I am, and I think that's partially how my dad raised me because I played on sports teams against my father, and he had a game plan designed just for me at the time because, well, he's my father.
And he knows everything about you.
And nothing's quieter than the ride back when I don't score, right? So I totally get it, but I'm not reading too much into that. The Hokies is not I hate to say quality loss, but there was more positives in this than you would expect from a score of 21-11.
You think so?
Because one side of the ball actually was very good, and Sellers is going to be arguably the best quarterback they play all year.
And that's what I think he might be the best quarterback in the nation. Like I think there's a strong chance Lenoris is QB1.
16-1 on the Heisman thing, so we'll see how that goes.
But like the defense was great, but the special teams left a lot to be desired. And the offense, man, not scoring a single touchdown That's tough.
And the thing about the offense though is if I'm looking at this from a coaching perspective, we didn't have trouble necessarily moving the ball. We didn't execute. That's something we can fix through practice and reps.
You didn't have any rushing attack. Your offensive line couldn't get a push forward.
And this is probably the best defensive line they're going to face all year. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So
that's valid, but I mean,
I don't want to like if this persists, then yeah. But Hawkins almost had 4 a carry. You obviously want that to be up to 4.5, maybe 5 on a good day. But again, I think there's some things you can work with. Drone's interception in the red zone, awful. And
yes.
he addressed that personally. He was upset about it. But I really think I want to give them at least another week or so to see if they can become more efficient. Because if they have a minimum mistake game, I think the score is a whole lot closer than what it is. And so I'm not saying that they beat themselves, but in some aspects, they did actually beat themselves.
South Carolina beat them. Like
I thought they were going to be more into. I thought they were more into it again because it's 10-8 at the half, man.
Yeah. But it's funny how we have flipped on our feelings of Virginia Tech. Now you're the one being a little more optimistic, and I'm like,
I'm not crowning them.
Neither. Man, it's yikes.
They didn't lose by one score. There we go. There's progress.
The whole when there was 10-8 in the third quarter, I was like, oh no, is this going to be a 1-score loss again? But they've got a lot of work to do on the offensive side of the ball. They've got a lot of work to do.
Now,
and honestly, Virginia Tech fans, I don't know how you do it. Like, I do not know how you go into every season with hope.
Now, remember, we talked about this most of the offseason. Typically, and we've heard coaches say this too, typically, the offense is slower to catch up than the defense. So this is their first game. Let's see what they do game 2 if there's progress in the execution.
Every coach cliche is the team improves the most between week 1 and week 2.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get no worse than not scoring a touchdown.
Look, there's only one way up from there after week 1.
Hey, same thing with Arch. You can't get no worse.
It can. God, it can.
I don't even want to know what that looks like.
In other state schools, UVA dominates Coastal Carolina. Cam Ross, the JMU transfer, had 224 all-purpose yards, 124 receiving, plus a 100-yard touchdown kick return. He was fantastic. I think Jamari Taylor, the running back for UVA, he said his quote was something like, "He's got the sauce." This is his exact quote. Cam Ross has the sauce. He really has all the sauce.
Nah, man.
That's an electric quote.
Forget Cam. Should have stayed at JMU, man.
Well, he couldn't catch a football at JMU. And all of a sudden, he's Mr. 124. Good for him. But there's a lot of preseason hype around Cam Ross. Like, when I was there doing Fitz the Bill on the road, presented by Schilling and Esposito Law Firm, and I was talking with them, they all were saying that Cam had a fantastic camp. He was looking electric. He was extremely athletic, and there was high expectations around him. I was a little lower on him just based off of his play at JMU, but making that type of impact against Coastal Carolina, I know it's Coastal Carolina, but still, that is, you don't get 224 all-purpose yards by being average, right? Like, that was a very good performance, and very good performance overall by UVA.
And as my coach used to say, you beat people how they're supposed to be beat. Virginia should be separated by a lot of points between the Coastal Carolina. 48-7 is perfectly fine, in my opinion. They dominated them in every aspect, even in the trenches. So that's good. That's good for them. Good. Again, this was the game that they're supposed to win. Like I said, on these schedules, you got to win the games you're supposed to win. There are other teams who played similar opponents and struggled or even potentially lost. So good for the Cavaliers to get out on the front foot.
Yeah. So now the thing with UVA, though, is that we're monitoring who the backup is. Daniel Kalen came in.
That's what I'm saying, Daniel Kalen.
Yeah, Daniel Kalen came in replacement of Chandler Morris. He began his collegiate career at Nebraska, did not play last season, then transferred into UVA over the offseason. He made his collegiate debut in that 48-7 win. So
you say Nebraska?
Yeah. He was number 3 on Nebraska's depth chart last year.
Number 3 on Nebraska's depth chart.
Hey, he had to go behind Dylan Raiola.
Yeah, no, I don't have a problem with them backing up Raiola. Raiola's all right, but man, third on the depth chart of Nebraska?
Daniel Kalen is the backup. So we'll monitor that situation all throughout the week, because Chandler Morris's health is the most important thing right now to UVA.
And look, Chandler Morris is a natural at quarterback, man, when it comes to passing the rock. So I'm not saying that we should we should raise the alarms, but they got North Carolina State next week
in a non-ACC game.
They kind of need that. But if they got to rest them for 2 games and you throw the North Carolina State game, you should be able to beat William and Mary. I had North Carolina State as one of those toss-up games. The projection of a bowl still remains. So
yeah,
maybe the health of the quarterback takes precedent over that.
For sure. JMU dominates Weber State in a game where Alonzo Barnett starts the game. Alonzo Barnett reportedly tore his ACL on November 30th, 2024. So 9 months to the day after tearing his ACL, Alonzo Barnett was out there starting for JMU with no brace on his knee, which is wild considering it was 9 months to the day when he got hurt.
That is interesting.
It's very
but modern technology, man, and he's in a whole lot better shape than I was when I got my injury.
It's insane.
I'm glad he survived it.
Not to throw the panic button or anything for JMU though, but 7 of the team's last 9 games dating back to last season, of course, the team has been held to under 200 yards passing. That's not good. So something to monitor heading into the Louisville game on Friday for JMU. ODU gave Indiana a bit of a game, but Indiana pulled away late. ODU kind of falters. Turnovers were the key in that one. During the ODU Fitz the Bill on the road, that was something that their offensive lineman, Zach Barlev, was really talking about, where when they don't turn the ball over, they win games. And it really is as simple as that. They're 7-0 in the Ricky Ronnie era when they don't turn the ball over. And when they do turn the ball over, things go a little bit haywire. Things went haywire over there in Bloomington, Indiana. And the Hoosiers, led by Kurt Signetti, they win that game. And Liberty gets a 28-7 win over Maine. That didn't feel like a confident win, though, for Liberty. They needed 21 points in the fourth quarter to pull away and end up winning it by that margin. Ethan Vasco led the team with 197 pass yards, 3 touchdowns. He also carried the ball a couple of times for 63 yards with a rushing touchdown. So Ethan Vasco was responsible for all 4 touchdowns Liberty scored in a gritty 28-7 win over Maine. It was 7-7 going into that fourth quarter. And then the Flames put up 21 points in the fourth to kind of pull away. But I think if you ask a Liberty fan right now, they don't have high confidence going into their season now. They were hoping they're going to blow out Maine, but instead it's a gritty game that took it all. So good for Liberty. JMU gets Liberty here in the next couple of weeks.
Man, they play down to people a lot though. So like obviously for JMU, you can't read into it too much because they'll be up to play you guys. But I don't know why they do that. That's what killed them last year down the stretch, right? Like in their quest to be a representative in the college football playoffs. Like they just play down to people. I don't get it.
It's tough, but you get the win. You survive and advance, essentially.
Jamie Chadwell, the Tech.
Stop.
Hey, all right. When it happens, don't say I didn't tell you.
All right, bet.
That's fine. It won't be Vic. So Jamie Chadwell.
Right, it won't be Vic. It will not be Vic. It won't be Jamie Chadwell either.
I know, it probably won't.
It'll be Shane Beamer.
Yeah, it won't be.
It won't be Shane Beamer. Based off of what Shane Beamer said at the start of the Netflix documentary, the SEC documentary, Shane Beamer was like, "I didn't want to coach at Virginia Tech because I wanted to be something more than just."
I mean, I totally understand
that.
Yeah, like I said, my dad's the mayor of Amherst County. I don't want to do anything in Amherst County because I'll always be Rodney's son. Yeah. So I totally get it.
So it's understandable. All right, let's get a break in here. Step aside. Wrap up this Tuesday edition of Fitz the Bill on 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Supply 50th anniversary celebration, November 23rd. Dominion Energy Center, performing their iconic hits in one night. On sale at DominionEnergyCenter.com.
Soccer in RVA is winding down with just a few games left this season. Make your plans now to catch the next Richmond Kickers home game, Wednesday, September 17th versus Portland Hearts of Pipe. Tune in to hear ESPN Richmond live as we count down to this nationally televised game on RVA Community Night at City Stadium. Then it's on to a Saturday night showdown, September 20th versus Charlotte Independence. Reserve your tickets today at richmondkickers.com. And don't forget, at Kickers games, dogs are always welcome.
Summertime in RVA means one thing. Golf season is here. If you're looking for the perfect golf course, head over to Queenfield Golf Club, located just a few minutes east of Mechanicsville. Queenfield offers a beautifully secluded 18-hole course, spacious driving range, and professionally maintained practice greens and bunkers. Schedule your tee time today by calling 804-769-8838 or reserve a spot online at queenfieldgolf.com and make Queenfield Golf Club your new favorite course.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code COOL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Stuck off the field? 1061 ESPN's got your back. Stream every debate, score, and highlight on the 1061 ESPN app. Download today and stay in the game.
Welcome back in. Fitz the Bill. As we wrap up this Tuesday, Shane Beamer, he took a match to Virginia Tech. You were saying it. You got to bring up this analogy, Alan. This is maybe top 10 analogy.
The reverse Star Wars, man. Like everything your father built up, you just burn it down.
You said you built up this empire. I'm the one that's going to destroy it.
The locker room, the field, everything that we built together, light a match.
Look, everything we built up, Beamer ball, I've taken it and I am making you feel the ramifications of Beamer ball.
He should have took the Metallica song and had another one or something. He should have trolled a little harder.
That may have.
He's actually got a troll personality, man. Do you remember what he did to Illinois' coach, man? I thought they were about to fight. You and that mic, man.
It's broken. The stripping is stripped. Just if you're watching the stream, you just saw me.
Yeah, if you're watching the stream, it'll be cut into our spoofs.
Yeah, the mic just fell off, so we're going handheld for the rest of today's show.
You're so hot with your takes right now.
The stripping's broken.
Yeah,
it's broken.
You're the Arch Manning of hosts right now.
Hey. I hit more than I'm not off target 34% of the time.
Like seriously, how does that happen? You're Manning. I can't get over that.
Look, you're going to get tired by the end of the season, Alan, of all my nerd stats. It is wild to me that he had essentially, I'll round up, negative 0.5 EPA per play. Expected points added on a per play basis, he was taking points off of the board. He would run 12 plays. In theory, like expected point. How many points do you think would be added to the overall score if he ran 12 plays? Joke's on you. It's -6. He's taking a touchdown off the board. He added his win probability added was -35%. He actively destroyed his chances to win. His team's chances to win. 32% success rate. 32% of the plays that he ran were successful. What? Brother, that is bad. 68% of plays you ran were unsuccessful.
All right, this is the most coddled schedule. Maybe Texas anticipated this would happen. So they're home next 3 games: San Jose State, UTEP, Sam Houston. All winnable. Easy. He's really gonna look like Tebow.
And then you know what's gonna happen before that next game, which is a road game against the top.
It's in Gainesville.
Okay, at Florida. Yeah, so like
that's gonna be something else.
Well, it's funny because we're all gonna then forget what happened in this game. Are you laughing at me for messing with this mic? It's not staying.
I know, it's hilarious. We'll get it fixed.
So where was I going? Oh, Arch. The next 3 games. He's going to be so good these next 3 games. We are going to all not we, because we were on the anti-Arch train to start. But He's going to be so good these next 3. Paul Feinbaum is going to be back on his show talking about how Arch Manning's the best quarterback since Tim Tebow. Then he's going to have he's going to lay a massive egg against Florida in Gainesville because his first 2 road starts are in the swamp and the shoe. I'm sorry. He can't get much harder than that.
Yeah. And then, you come back after that Florida game, you got Red River, which is neutral site. And that's the week out the perfect sandwich for Florida because you got the easy game of Sam Houston, then you got the look ahead of Oklahoma. And so I'm a little worried. We'll see how Oklahoma does this weekend against Michigan. That's the primetime game. But they're right now they're looking at 5.5, 6 point favorite against Michigan, which looked pretty good with Bryce Underwood. I think that's a little off.
Yeah.
But we'll see how they handle it. And if they do well, that might even be a game that we might circle that Texas could potentially lose anyway, because those games get crazy regardless.
It's going to be wild. Texas could be free falling here. So I'm glad you brought up Bryce Underwood, though. He had a very good freshman debut. He was much better than Arch. Threw for 250, a touchdown, and EPA was just over 0.08.
So I forgot to mention this because we didn't talk about it too heavily. I'm not going to publicly apologize to Brian Kelly. I still think he's a terrible coach in big games. But I will say the thoughts and prayer package that Clemson keeps rolling out every single year, it ain't going to work, man. Why go in the portal if you're only going to play like one kid? What's the point?
It's so bad. Like that was
Dabo's on his way out, man. He don't realize it yet, but the walls are going to be closing in real quick.
It is wild to see what is happening in club. Like you that was not a great performance from LSU either. It was a very winnable performance for you, Clemson, and you could not pull it out.
Another Heisman top pick hopeful.
Like
look anything like it.
I feel like I got duped. I was a Cade Klubnik guy.
I was never.
I voted for Clemson to win the ACC.
Oh my God! Down at the ACC.
The ACC kickoff. I voted.
I gotta see who Matt voted for. Both of y'all are fired.
We both voted for Clemson.
Oh my gosh, man!
They were nearly unanimous.
No way.
And granted, they won the ACC last year. Not a crazy thing to say.
I'm going to ask, but I'm pretty sure he voted for Tech last year.
No, he did not vote for Tech.
All right, I was going to say.
He talked a big game about.
I thought he was
going to
be contrarian.
No,
Clemson?
No. But I believe he voted for Clemson. But it's a 17-10 loss. Like you had the opportunity to win it.
I knew they were losing that game when they skipped down the hill. They didn't even run. They skipped down the hill.
Also, running down that hill. Whoever started that tradition needs to be fired.
It is scary.
There's so many torn ACLs waiting to happen. I know it hasn't happened, but just wait. Just wait. We've got a loaded week coming up. We've got Dan Pizzuta joining us on Thursday to help us preview the upcoming NFL season. Tomorrow is our first ever Talk of the Town segment. We'll be chatting with St. Christopher's Darius Gray later on today after practice, and you'll hear that conversation with him and his head coach tomorrow at 9 a.m. for our first Talk of the Town. And of course, Pat Jaggers will be joining on Friday. Stay with us, ESPN Richmond, where Richmond talks sports. We've got Clinton and Friends. The debut of the Rich Eisen Show takes you right into Matt Joseph's at 3. And then we've got all of our live and local programming from there for the rest of the evening. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Fitz the Bill.
From the ESPN studio, presented by Ortho Virginia. Find one of Ortho Virginia's orthopedic locations at orthovirginia.com. W291CL Lakeside Richmond. WURB HD2 Richmond. We are 1061 ESPN.
This isn't fantasy football, it's real competition. Welcome to the NFL Survivor Tournament. You versus the field. $100 to enter, $100,000 in total prizes, $50K to the winner. Start each week with a $100K bankroll. Pick games, win returns. Top 80% survive. Bottom 20%, you're out. Bankroll resets weekly, no carryover. 20 weeks, $100K. Will you take home the cash? Sign up, lock in, and let's see if you've got the guts to survive.